introduce my man, Velvet Vibez. You heard me? Go ahead, let us know who you are, my guy. Let them know.
Let me just tell you like this. Smooth as parquet on wheat bread on a Sunday morning. You got Velvet from the Velvet Vibez podcast. I'm in this thing, and we about to do some good old podding today. Amen.
Amen, 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 my brother.
Wow. Amen. Hey,
So
I ain't got my shouting shoes on now.
Oh, where you don't?
Look,
I do.
I might be giving y'all too much honesty, but I said, shoot, if we're gonna do it on Zoom, podcasts like this, I'm just gonna podcast in my drawers. So hey, that's how we rock. So I'm trying to keep this camera right so I can respect y'all listeners.
They got the visual already, dog.
Hey, he gonna get a man off of YouTube. Like, he got the time.
In case we make some accidents.
Hey.
Hey, well, it's like a work meeting. Right, you can't see nothing below the shirt, nothing below the waist anyway. So
yeah,
there you go, son.
So I do got the first question, Velvet.
Talk to me.
Why did you start podcasting in the first place?
Man, to be honest, it's real funny. I used to be like a super fan. Actually, it's somebody that's in my group. It's I don't know if you've seen the guy Kwame Young that be commenting in my Velvet Vibez podcast group on Facebook.
Yeah, I see him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he has a podcast, like a hip hop podcast. And I remember once or twice he had commented about me and things I said in his group on Facebook. It was like, oh, yeah, Velvet, he said this and that. And I remember I was so stoked. I was like, oh, snap, they said my name on here. I didn't realize that, fast forward, I would be having a podcast myself. But a little known fact, before I got into podcasting, I had an internet radio station.
Oh.
A lot of people don't know that. That's what I was doing. And I was doing air quotes talk show on there. I didn't know the word podcast at the time. I was like, yeah, I do a radio talk show. And I was doing that. But I noticed that's when my listeners would go up. So I was like, well, shit, I need to focus more on the show part. And because I was paying a lot of money to do that. And licensing to be playing certain songs. And I had to deal with ASCAP and BMI and all that stuff. So I said, look, how can I just focus on just the podcast part? And then that's what I came in contact with from the bottom. Because I had heard of y'all before we ran across each other. So even when we first started talking, I was like, dang, he liked my comment. And, now it's just regular, a typical day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Wait a minute. I didn't know you had an internet radio thing.
Yeah.
So wait, how much did that cost per month to run that?
It wasn't that bad. I think it was like $50 a month just for having the station. But I think I had to pay like $500 for a year to be licensed to play music. Because if I'm on there, internet radio, I'm playing Jay-Z, I'm playing, Puffy or whatever. I'm playing other people's music that don't belong to me. So I have to be licensed to do it, or they're going to strip me off.
Oh.
So I had to pay for all these licenses to play music and stuff. And then I would play local people like, hey, I'm going to play your music. Try to help people out too. But then I was like, man, I might have bit off way more than I could chew for doing this. And maybe I could just focus on the podcast.
That's not bad.
That is. So you had to get a BMI for that?
You can get BMI or ASCAP. I think I was dealing with ASCAP, to be honest. I spoke with both of them, but I think I was dealing with ASCAP. But yeah, you have to have the legal permissions, because they find out you playing music don't belong to you. You're gonna get some paperwork in the mail, and I don't think you want to get sued by Drake, because I don't think we can even pay him. We'll probably just get our wages garnished.
Like child support.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wait, so I thought if you buy the song on iTunes or something, you can play it a DJ, like a wedding DJ or something.
To be honest, I'm not sure about that, but I don't think they're supposed to do it either. But I do know if you're streaming it online, you're streaming it for people that some other people be stripping it off So if I'm playing Jay-Z Big Pimpin', somebody else might have not bought it. They might be recording my radio station, and they're like, cool, now I got this, now I got that. So to prevent them from, air quotes, not getting paid, not that it's going to really hurt them, they make it like that. So if I pay for my license, that's how they get paid.
I just learned something right there.
The gospel right there.
See, look, y'all got to listen to y'all got to listen to the people we have on. You know, they giving y'all some knowledge right now. You know, if you want to start the internet radio thing, he just told you, you know, how much
what
it probably
need.
costs and what you probably need to do in order to start this.
Man,
kind of thinking about getting back into it.
Yeah, how long ago was that?
I think maybe 3 years ago, because I think I've been potting like 2.5 or something. So probably like 3 years ago, right before I started podcasting, I was doing that. I didn't know what I was doing. I first started podcasting, I was just throwing the episodes on YouTube before I started finding out like how to get some real listeners and put them on real platforms. And that's when I started feeling good. I'm like, all right, now I'm doing something.
No, man, you should have seen us, man. When we first started, we was like, say, no, we don't know, but hey.
hey, did y'all go through the one microphone phase? Because we did that. We had everybody with one microphone. We was all talking in one microphone before I had.
Oh, you know what?
I think we started off with 2.
Okay. We started off with 2. So we got them on a low.
We had some bad equipment and we didn't know all that time.
Oh yeah.
Like, so the thing like kept cutting out and everything. We had to stop the show and like restart it and all that stuff. And then later on, when we realized we had some bad equipment, everything came so much easier.
Yeah, facts. You know, so many groups on Facebook, you know, I done got laughed at and said, check out my microphone. And and as you begin to learn about the better equipment, then you know, you come back correct. You know, now we coming correct. So
I gotta say, your videos and your podcast be on point because you got one of the dopest intros for a podcast out there.
Man.
It's not a podcast, it's a filmcast.
It's a filmcast.
I remember the first time I heard it, I had to keep rewinding and just playing the beginning. Like
you kept going back?
Yeah, I kept going back.
Man, look, I that's my dedication. I had to get in there and sing it. I said, you know what? Everything illegal and everything get you sued. I said, I'm finna go in here. I plugged that microphone. I wrote them lyrics. I'm gonna have to send y'all the real copy because it's a verse on there too.
Yeah.
I only play the hook for the beginning, but it's a verse that come in after that.
Why you ain't played it?
Because I don't want it to be too long, you know, because I think the real intro is probably about 3 minutes. Like, people going to be like, all right, is the show going to ever come home?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you 100 episodes in, you could have snuck that thing in somewhere.
I might have to throw it at the end or something one time.
Throw it in there. Hey, you know what you do it during a commercial or something.
Yeah. Let y'all get that verse.
They be like,
they're like, he got bars too.
Bars, man.
Pimp bars.
It's liquor license. Look. So, question.
Talk to me.
Just by seeing the type of topics that you post, right? My question is, and it's always been, how do you come up with these topics?
He do got the question.
Look, a lot of times. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you. A lot of times I be watching TV. I ain't even gonna lie. Or I might be watching. My girl might be looking at divorce court or something like that, and it be scenarios going on Jerry Springer and stuff. I been and walked in the room and I said, "What he said?" He said, "What? Hold on." He was making love to a moose. I get my pen and paper out. I'm like, we're gonna have to discuss it.
I can't lie. I was like, somebody must be sending him these questions because these I'm like, where you getting these from? Like,
they be extra random, dog.
Or look, I ask questions just to bother people, you know, because people see the question, they be like, look, I don't know if you saw today in my group, it said men is giving up baths when it comes to their genitals. that
I was like, wait, hold it.
Yeah, so everybody got upset about that, and the men are saying we ain't doing it, and then the women asking, is this true? Because they got some people they need to ask some questions. Why they giving up baths? But yeah, I just like to bother folks.
So this is a question I got for you, Bill.
Talk to me. I'm drinking liquor too, so
you got the podcast that's doing really good. You got the Facebook group that's doing pretty good.
Amen.
Is that a lot to juggle? Are you just like you doing all that by yourself, or is it like a team of people?
It's me by myself as far as that part, because everybody else it ain't really technical like that. But I do got help as far as marketing and stuff like that. I got help on that end. As far as the editing and all that stuff, that's me. But when it comes to the group, I figured out a little trick. People think I'm online all the time like that. I be scheduling like 100 posts scheduled. Like I'll just find memes. I'll be like, this is funny, schedule. I'll be watching TV. I'll be like, here's a funny topic, schedule. And I'll sit there and do it for about 2 or 3 hours, and we'll be scheduled up for like almost a month. The only stuff I go in there and put in is when new things happen. Like, today, Little Richard died, rest in peace. Stuff like that happens, I'll go and post it right then and there. But everything else is scheduled. So sometimes I don't even know. I be asleep and I wake up and it say I got 100 alerts. I'm like, oh, what?
That's smart. That's smart.
I'm like, what didn't happen? Yeah, so I'm not in there physically like that. I schedule all that stuff. That way I can focus on the podcast. The Facebook be jumping crazy and I don't even be on it. By the time I go in there, I gotta catch up, make sure ain't nobody offended. People be inboxing me, I'm offended. He said something to me. Because every once in a while they get hot in there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it be racial
or
political
what's your
topics.
comeback? Okay, on a political topic. So what's your comeback? You just give it to them how you give it to them?
If it's an opinion, I let people say their opinion. But every once in a while, people be like, look here, bitch, you're going to hear more of my opinion. I'm like, whoa. We don't have to. Sometimes
they do it like
just go way. Yeah, they be going way off. But if it's just like you don't agree with them, then I'm not going to make them stop saying what they're saying. Unless it's like racist or hate speech or something.
Yeah.
But some people be like, he didn't like my comment. Like I can't help you with that. Say something more witty, I guess. We're gonna pray for you.
I know you kick people out. I think you kicked like one person out.
The wild racist.
I think so. But like, how bad do it have to get in the group for you to come in and be like, hey, you gotta go?
Well, I had one guy that it was a post and it had 4 black older ladies and they had gray hair and stuff, and I guess it was trying to make a MILF post or something like that. But I felt like the guy could have just not commented because it was a white dude and he put in there, these some ugly bitches or something like that. And that's when I was like, whoa. And, me and him went back and forth in the messenger. He was like, no, it's not racist. It's just not my cup of tea and everything. I was like, well, you ain't had to go calling all those words. You could just either not comment or, stuff like that. And then, he kept saying he wanted to talk about the Confederate flag and Donald Trump and stuff. So then I knew what his beliefs were. I went ahead and pushed that button, block, remove from group. And only other time I had it happen is I had a hacker get in our group, and I think it was like another podcast, which I don't mind other podcasters being in my group because it's y'all in there and there's other people that participate, but it's some people that come in there and that I feel like they be leeching and stuff. Like this girl kept writing everybody in the group, so what day do the episodes come out? What's the distribution company that they use? And then everybody was messaging me saying she added everybody in the group, asking what day everything come out, what we edit our videos with. I was like, all right, look here, young lady. If you have questions, you can speak to me. But if you want to just duplicate the entire podcast, we're not gonna do that. So I had to push that magic button on her too. So if y'all see Velvet Vibez or something that sound familiar, and they say it's a pump cast or something,
they
that might be them.
They biting.
I just didn't know like so many people try to replicate his exact same thing.
Yeah,
but, I can't lie. I'm just when we started. You know how when you first start, you going through reading people's description of their shows and stuff.
Yeah.
It just so happened that this one that I seen, I think this guy from New York, I'm like, that's exactly how I feel. I'm like, let me change the words, but yeah, he caught on. Yeah, he got on Jerry about that one.
Oh, he reached out to you?
Dude, first off, I ain't lying. Look, check it. He hit us up, and I'm like, man, this dude look like he can be my grandpa. What do you need? Man, he went off
the senior citizens.
Yeah. So I'm like, did somebody rip up your AARP card? What's going on? What I do? I mean, he came at us, and I'm like, man, Cal, what happened? He was like, oh, what happened? Well, I'm like, damn, son threw me in the water with nothing.
Man, yeah, y'all done ticked him off. I think the only thing I done is like, and I show credit where credit is due. Like, actually, I got this from y'all. Y'all was the first podcast I heard that was like putting like a little background music in the back.
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't I put a little background music in the back? So then I started doing that. But as far as me saying, cool, I'm going to use the exact same topics or I'm going to use the same beat or something, I ain't going to do that. But I do show credit with, that's where I heard it from. And I was like, dang, that makes it a little more spicy. Put a little lemon pepper on the podcast.
I guess I look at it different now. I take it like a little badge of honor, like
exactly.
You want to copy me, like, all right, no shit, cool with me.
I think it's a difference though between copying and like just like I said with the music, I'm like, hey, I should also do that. Or with somebody like, I'm gonna do exactly what you did. I'm gonna use the same. I want your logo.
Thing. Oh yeah,
yeah, stuff like that.
So this is the question I got, Bill. You went to 100 episodes. That's not easy. That's like years of work there.
Man.
Especially like when you trying to like work everybody's schedules together.
Oh, now you talking.
So what was the hardest part of you getting to that 100 episode?
To be honest, the hardest part now, because I actually, if I wanted to be an asshole, I really been hit 100 because there was times when I didn't record, like same thing what you saying, everybody's schedule was different or I was out of town or something. And I might have had an interview that I did because also the interviews I be doing, that's not really the podcast. That's just like I do interviews with artists, local artists. I put it on YouTube. I put it on my YouTube channel, but that's not the podcast where we talk about topics. But I have taken those interviews and I said, you know what? I ain't record this week. I'm going to take this interview and I'm going to just use it as an episode. But every time I would drop those, I wouldn't count them as I wouldn't put episode 38, episode 39. I just put new episode interview with such and such. And so I had a couple of those and I really looked and I was like, really, I hit 100, but I want to give y'all 100 episodes of us talking. But with COVID-19, once this popped off, I think I was at 97 or 98 when it first popped off. And then I know some people ain't taking it serious, but I ain't really seen my podcast posse like that. I have, I might have to use this Zoom or whatever. I've been using a different platform, but we might get on that. But everybody ain't so tech savvy. So yeah, some of this stuff we spend more time troubleshooting than podcasting. So
well, yeah, I don't know
like that, but
we weren't too technical, until we were like, dang, let's get us another go.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't y'all try Zoom? I'm like, what's Zoom? Like, you can record video and audio. They're like, yeah. So I'm like, sure, why not? Let's go on and try.
Why not?
That's fire.
Yeah,
Plus, I don't have to bring everybody over to my house, and I don't have to travel out to their house and stuff like that.
Hey, falling asleep on the road, be like, son, just hit me up when you get home. All right, son.
Yeah.
7
but you know what?
I'm like, I hope he made it.
That's gonna make y'all probably have better episodes too, though, because I done had times, I won't lie, that like what the energy be off because one of us being just got off of work. Then they come over here and they be irritated going through traffic. Then we plug up everything and everybody looking quiet and annoyed. And I'm like, welcome to Velvet Vibez. And it's kind of like, yeah, what's up? But I feel like if you already at home, you gonna have the right energy because you chilling.
Yeah. Well, you know, everybody like to be at home, so you know it's the perfect thing. Like you don't got to go nowhere. Like even be in your underwear doing this.
Yeah, as you see, you see, I've been holding this phone for dear life. Because if I drop this phone, I should have put. I got one. I should have put it up because you know what? If I drop this phone, that the episode ends there. As far as YouTube is concerned.
Snakes on the
couch. Like that. What? He didn't do the end, the outro.
Yeah, they'd be like, "This is a naughty show. This is from the bottom."
Yeah,
from the getting with it. Be like COVID edition. People going through it.
Look, they're gonna have to listen with a mask on.
So, out of all the guests that you had the pleasure to interview, who was your most famous guest? I mean, I think I know, but I want to see who you gonna say.
I'm gonna say Turk, man.
Dang, that's what I was gonna say. Especially when he had the cake when he was little.
Yeah. Yeah, when I got Turk, I was like, dang, I can't believe I got that interview. But I'm talking to some folks. I'm talking to Gangsta Boo right now and a few other people.
Well, wait, hit the brakes. This is exclusive right here. Who say you talking to?
Me and Gangsta Boo been talking. Me and Hurricane Chris been talking. And a few others that I ain't gonna release, but yeah, we've been having some conversations. People got time on their hands right now, so they, you know what I'm saying? But then again, it's a gift and a curse because people got so much time on their hands that, you know, some people don't want to do it because they just chilling. They're like, I'm just chilling. I ain't. And then some people like, I got to do something else. So
yeah, I mean, they gotta keep their name out there, and you know,
exactly
on your platform is like the perfect thing.
Facts.
You know? But then you did have the one. What's his name from Baby Boy?
Oh, Omar Gooden.
Yeah, that was a good episode too. That
was a fire one too. Yeah, so I'm still trying to get some more of them celebrities interviews because you know they get people inspired, and I noticed a spike in listening at that time, but I have seen some hating with that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna just say this. I don't know if I want to call it hating or if somebody just doing what we said earlier, trying to take the sauce. I remember one time, and I ain't concealing this podcast name just because I don't remember it. I just really don't remember the name of it. But right after I did Omar Gooden interview, it was the following week after I released that episode, I saw another podcast had him on there. And I think the only reason they had him on there is they was like, oh, he must be like, you know, we could just reach out to him. So I feel like they just kind of reached out to him too. And I seen it and I still, you know, I wasn't no hater, but I lowered my glasses a little bit and I said, okay, I was like, look, if you get a celebrity guest, salute. But if you go and get the same exact person, I feel like you just said, okay, I might just hit him up because he might be willing to
come on.
And it was like the very next episode. So I had to lower my glasses on that.
Well, I think that part hard because like unless like they personally know you, they probably like, sure, I'm gonna get the person too, you know. I'm gonna you know?
Facts.
But that's a good one though with you with Gangsta Boo though and Hurricane Chris. I hope them things.
Yeah, I'm trying to get them. That's why normally I don't speak on them because I didn't talk to more people than I didn't interview. It's been a few people that we talk and it don't happen. So I'm glad I don't put it out there because they be like, man, what happened to that?
I know. That's why I'm like, we just wait until after it happened now. Like, we ain't saying, like, who coming on or nothing.
Exactly.
Like, you know, just stay tuned and they'll tell them who you're going to see on.
I do know that when I interviewed Young Bleed, he told me he down to do it again and in person. So once this over, I might have to go do that, make that trip, and forget all this Zoom and phone. I might have to sit across from him real quick.
So where Young Bleed from? He from Cali, ain't
no, I think he's from Baton Rouge.
He from Louisiana?
Yeah, I know he's from Louisiana. I think it's Baton Rouge, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm slipping on my Southern music. I don't know a little
he from your hometown. He from your home state.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, son. He said Hurricane Chris. I'm like, okay, I know him. Everybody else, I'm like,
Well, hold on. Hold on. How old are you? That's the question.
Well, I'm 32.
Okay, so you of age to know Gangsta Boo. Have you heard of 3 6 Mafia? I'm assuming you have.
Yeah. Hey, now check this out. Growing up, I mean, we're gonna make this clear, and I should say this, everybody. I've gotten into music. What? Go ahead. What you about to say?
You used to listen to orchestra music instead of hip hop?
Man, I wish I did, son. Help my little brain out. Look, no, dog. I didn't get into music. I didn't really rock with. Let me say, I rock with Southern music, dog. But I was like more so on like a Eminem and Cassidy. I knew the group. I know the group 3 6 Mafia, but more so not individual names unless it's Hot Boys. You heard me? I know Cash Money. No pass.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you that too. You know Turk, of course.
Come on, man. Yeah, okay. I know Turk.
I was finna get some olive oil and throw it on my phone. Get some of the prayer sauce coming through there.
I do gotta say though, you know, one person I want to see on Velvet Vibez podcast.
Talk to me.
Is Fly.
Player Fly?
Fly.
You know what? Me and Player Fly had a conversation.
That's one person who I don't think I've seen the interview. I just seen the interview with Crunchy.
Yeah.
But
on Vlad.
Wait. For everybody out there looking at this video, what I'm talking about is like Memphis artists right now. You know, Crunchy is Crunchy Black from 3 6, and Fly is Player Fly from Memphis. Like, I don't know if they consider Player Fly a national artist though. He more like
underground, regional.
Yeah, he regional. So you know, everybody out there gonna be like, who is Fly? Like Spanish Fly or something like that. You know.
Yeah, that's a naughty thing for them to look up. So don't look up Spanish Fly. Y'all look up. Because you might find yourself sitting next to Bill Cosby looking for Spanish Fly. but you need to look for Player Fly. But yeah, me and Player Fly had a conversation, but I'm a little shocked that he's still trying to charge for interviews. And the price that he told me was a little bit alarming. He want a stack.
A stack for the hour?
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't mean to want to be strange, have a strange attitude, sir, but
well, you know,
we haven't heard from you.
Fly high, if you know.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a magical belief.
So let me ask. So, have you ever been approached like, in order for you to interview these people, they wanted you to pay, or did just Fly the only person?
No. Lil Scrappy asked me for $4,000, and I actually that one I probably because that's a pretty decent name. He ain't real popular now, but
love it hip hop.
Yeah. But you know, I think I thought I considered it on that one, but I looked around and I said, you know what? Do I want my lights to be cut off for this interview? Do I want to run out of bologna sandwiches? And I didn't want to run out of bologna sandwiches, so.
I'm gonna have to. Like, what's the rate of return if you spending that much to have them on?
Exactly. I think if I get to a point where I can consistently have people like that, and like you said, if it's worth it from what's coming back, I'll do it. But as far as me doing it, and then you know my stomach started growling, and we had to have conversations in my house. Okay, we gonna just have to make phone calls on the Wi-Fi for a little while. To this interview come through.
I mean, I don't know if I can pay to interview somebody. You know, because it's not like, you know, you out here like you know, we like Joe Rogan or something.
Yeah.
You know, exactly. But like, you know, if you doing something like just for the love of it, you like you trying to shine the spotlight on them and help them tell their story, but yet they want to charge you to help them.
Yeah, so that's why I do kind of feel a little both ways about it. Some of the names is like a big name, but then at the same time, it's like you said, you charging me to have a conversation with you. And so I be feeling a little way about it. Because even when I interviewed Turk, though, most of the artists that I've spoke with, we spoke directly. When I spoke to him, he said, speak to my manager. That's all he said. And he gave me his manager's contact. And me and his manager was talking every day until the day came. So, and I guess it's probably because, you know, in order for us to interview, he got to call me, which means I'm going to have his phone number. And I'm sure people be afterwards still calling and like, hey, what you having for breakfast? Like, look, we can't have to keep talking after this. So I have made it a point that after I talk to people, I still have their numbers, but I don't be using it like, hey, check out my shoes and you know, how's the weather out there? Like, I just don't text them no more. I look at my contacts and be like, man, it's crazy. I got Turk number right here. But Turk ended up calling me, and I was kind of nervous because most of the people I interviewed, I called them, and I never had his number the whole time. And he was like, I'm gonna call at this time. So I was just sitting here with a microphone, like, come on, man, don't do this to me. And the phone rang, and I was like, oh snap! And I was like, yes, let's do this.
I don't know. I gotta say that's a feeling right there when you try and have people come on.
Yeah.
You know, and they supposed to call you, and you know you set everything up, and you sit here waiting. You be like, man, I hope they come through. You know, I hope they come.
Look, that's why I had to reach out to y'all before this episode, because you know what one thing we all know when it comes to podcasting, when people don't want to do it, they don't say I don't want to do it. They just let the time come, and then the time just come and go, and then you say, oh, I guess it's just gonna be me and Jerry.
Yeah, people do change, but I don't know. I think this time around we learned our lessons from last time. Is like we try to like stack some up now.
Yeah.
So that way, like even if we gone, it's still gonna be stuff coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So this time, you know, last time we used to do it like every week, you know, put it out, then we come record every week, put it out. But like this time, it's like, yeah, we just stacking stuff up.
Man, that's actually smart though, because if you stacking episodes, the only time I don't stack an episode is if we like talking about something that's real current. Like if we talking about something like, did y'all see what Tekashi did today or something? Then by time if it don't come out, then people like, man, that's old.
Yeah.
But we just talking about like what we talking about now. This general talk. So if it come out tomorrow or if it come out 2 weeks from now, it's fine.
Yeah.
And to your point, I done dropped episodes while I was out of town. I'm somewhere doing some other stuff, and I'm sitting around frying my bologna sandwich. And an episode dropped, and they're like, "Man, you speaking facts." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was scheduled already."
You know, I think like the craziest episode that me and Jerry did is when I went to New Orleans. So
I'm scared already.
I sent him some questions. So he said his answers the way he would say them. And then I came back and I recorded my part like we were sitting there talking to each other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You know,
wait, did I edit that one or did you do it?
I edited that one.
You edited that one?
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Y'all ran this like a
we ran this in, bro. Hey.
So I think it was
the water.
It was live from the 504. I think it was that episode. You know, So he recorded his part, then I came back later and said my part like I was talking to him. And then we all played together.
I gotta give y'all some credit for that, because just because of that, I'm gonna go listen to it, and I bet it sounds like y'all actually like it's really going on. Like,
I mean, if you blend everything in, man, the right way, man, people gonna be like, dang, son, y'all, that was an authentic episode whole time.
Facts.
But you know what? I do have a question though.
Talk to him.
How you feel about the light skin I don't want to call him lollipop. That don't sound right. The rainbow kid,
Oh,
Takashi.
Takashi.
I mean, cause dude,
Oh, you know what?
he
I'm gonna say this about Takashi though. I feel like half of the people that's so upset about Takashi is they continuing to blow him up by continuing to post it and saying, "Look at this clown! Look what he did." Because you got to think, Takashi then broke the Instagram record. He went live and he got 2 million people on the live. That's the most ever on any Instagram live of all time. He dropped a song and he got 43 million views in 24 hours. That's the most views on a YouTube video in 24 hours ever. And the who had the record was Eminem on his diss to MGK. So
Oh,
with that, yeah, with that being said, he didn't blow them out the water. And if we all be honest, matter of fact, I'm gonna ask all y'all this question: do y'all follow Takashi? Let's be honest. I'm gonna tell the truth. I do, and I do it because I want to be entertained. But I'm probably one of the people causing the problem. Do y'all follow him?
I'm gonna be honest.
Hey.
I don't follow him, but I don't really follow too many rappers now.
Yeah.
Not like I
I
used
don't.
to. I don't really listen
Oh,
to. I don't really
I
listen to
don't.
unless they like saying something real, like some type of like motivational type rap now. Like
Some of that.
Nipsey and like
Yeah.
Yo Gotti had a couple of them on his latest project and stuff. Like Big Homie Rules and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
really.
You
Nah,
don't heard enough twerk music in your life.
man. But it's not even that. No, I mean, I didn't look at it, man. I mean, honestly, one of the things that irritates me a lot about this dude, I mean, everybody around him before he went to jail or whatnot, everybody, I mean, it was a lot of black people. And one of the words he said a lot is
Is the N word.
N-word.
Yeah.
And I mean, no,
Yeah.
everything didn't happen. I mean, now he gets, I'm like, man, his music sucks. The only reason why I checked him out, because I heard the kids talk about some gummo. I said, oh, what? Who? So I went YouTube, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that.
You
Don't do
thought it
that.
was gonna be about oysters and jambalaya. You thought it was about
Man, Gumby, that's what it was. I thought it was the little green thing. You know what I mean? Gumby. Oh, gumbo. No, that's what it's called. Gumbo, huh?
yeah,
Oh,
I
Gummo.
call it Gumby.
Before he got out, people was asking me like,
Go ahead.
they used to say there is no way that he could come back and be like he was before he came out. Ain't nobody gonna listen to him now. And I was telling them, I'm like, that's entertainment. Like he's an entertainment type guy. He not. I mean, how many rappers out there really doing that stuff?
Well, the thing is, snitching nowadays, this just the proof that all that old school stuff, that stuff gone.
That been gone.
And not just snitching. Look how we treat our women and stuff, and how people don't like when I don't know if you remember somebody was beating an old woman up on a subway. This happened like sometime last year. There was men all around with their cell phones out, going, "Ooh, look!" Like so, it's so many laws and codes that we don't live by. Look at Omarion and Lil Fizz, and your friend dates your girlfriend or your ex or your baby mama. Like all the codes and stuff, that stuff gone. Now it's a good idea to think, yeah, this is how it rolls, but it's just not how it is. And most of the people that's upset are people in our age bracket. This we grew up with that no snitching and stuff. These young kids, they're just like, this guy's cool and he has cool hair and I like his music. They don't care about his morals and all that stuff. We was thinking, hold on, we were scared to listen to 3 6 Mafia because we were like, hold on, do they go to church? Do they worship the devil?
They worship the devil.
Yeah, we were
that devil music, boy.
Yeah, we was concerned about what these people stood for. Now we just like, do you like it? Yes or no? That's all they care about. They don't care about nothing else. So
yeah,
man. I don't think people really. Well, I don't think his audience really care about him snitching because that ain't got nothing to do with them.
Exactly.
That's the whole snitching thing. Like, unless you were personally affected, that stuff ain't gonna bother you.
Yeah. I think people like, if you have a big fan base, whoever your fans are, they gonna listen. Now, if you have a big enough fan base, it wouldn't matter, because look, if he pulling 43 million overnight, he is straight. But then you got Boosie, who had all these comments about Dwayne Wade's son, and there's probably a certain group of people that's like, we ain't gonna listen to him now. That may affect him more than if somebody say, I ain't listening to Tekashi because he a snitch, because it's a bigger group of people saying, I don't care.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think more major artists, after they see him with these numbers,
you going where I want to go?
Yeah, they're gonna be like, hey, can we record something? All these people talking bad.
This is what I've been wondering about, because the only person I know for a fact said it was Tory Lanez. He said that when he come out, he want to work with him. But see, I don't think he the only one, because people was mad at him for it. But if you think in a business way, if you're like, okay, if he pulling these kind of numbers, I know what he believe in, and I know all this stuff, but he putting some big numbers, and that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So it's make me wonder, is your street code going to outweigh your business mind? Because you could say, I'm gonna just going to do this and get this bag, but people gonna be talking about me, and people gonna say, we gonna come after you, because that's what's gonna happen. Somebody gonna work with them, and they gonna say, oh man, you a fraud. But when they see that bag, they're gonna say, hey, we should do a joint project. We should do a whole project. We should work on a little movie together. Like, so
I can see it.
I believe somebody gonna do it, but I don't really think it may not be a big name, because it seemed like people, especially the older people, are caring about that more than they probably, than you would think. That they're like, because people are thinking about what other people think about them more than they're thinking about the bag right now. Because if they go in that room by themselves and they close the door and they say, I'm sitting here looking in the mirror, saying damn to myself, because they know they want to jump on that track with them.
I mean, from a business standpoint, it's a win.
That's a win.
But from the street standpoint, or what they say the streets, because I don't know, the streets not like the streets used to be.
I mean,
facts.
People telling on themselves, they go glad and telling themselves every day. So
they be on Facebook with it. Look.
Yeah.
And they taping everything now themselves too.
Yes.
Then they wonder, like, how did the police find out?
But you see, this is something I ain't been able to solve for a long time. I kind of feel like we in the era where it's like, if we can't prove what we're doing, then it didn't happen. So I can't just tell you I got a lot of money. I gotta show it to you. I can't tell you I got a diamond chain. I gotta show it to you. So we have this need to stunt on each other. They had did a poll once. I forgot where it was, but they said, would you rather have $1 million or 1 million followers? And more people said they would rather have 1 million followers than $1 million. And it was a way bigger number. And people tried to flip that and say, well, because if I got 1 million followers, I can make $1 million. But which it kind of has a point, but I feel like you're probably full of crap. You just want the 1 million followers because you just want it. And if you don't know what you're doing in a business way, you can't switch that over to currency. You can't change that to money. You're going to say, hey, everybody donate to my GoFundMe. Some of them people ain't going to be real Instagram accounts, or they ain't going to be active. And you're going to come up with $100,000 and you're going to say, oh, I thought I can get $1 from everybody. Now you done screwed yourself. You got these followers. So I know rappers personally that be asking me, do I know how to get them some fake followers? And I'm like, I know how it's done, but if you do that, you're not going to know where you are. Like there's ways to get fake podcast listens, but if you get a million listens, and then y'all sitting there clapping your hands, but at the end of the day, you don't know how many people listen for real. You're like, that was cool, but I wonder how many people really listen though.
Well, I think the thing is that, like, the thing with the fake listeners and the fake followers is, like, if you got 50,000 followers and you put something up, put a post up, and you only get 5 likes.
Yeah.
You know,
there it is.
so you got like 10,000 plays this last episode. Then you put a new one out the next week. Then you get like
you get 12.
Yeah, you get 12.
12
You'd be like, well, what? How did that happen? Like,
somebody paid some for them boosts.
Yeah. That's a fact.
I mean, but I ain't gonna lie. Back on the Tekashi, man, I mean, in today's age, like you say, everybody want to be seen. That's more valuable. And I mean, look where they get you. I mean, he's being as arrogant, and I mean, us old heads is like, man, that's pointless, man. What you doing? And these youngsters, they loving it. I mean, they love it. I mean, entertainment.
You know what they calling this? They're calling this season 2 of Tekashi. Now that he out of jail, they said this season 2. Before he went to jail, it was season 1. They like it's a whole show.
So they saying, are they saying he finna take more people down for season 2?
Look, I guess we got to stay tuned. But think about this though. The artist that's doing the best is the people that, because you got to think, in our day with Tupac and all that stuff, we didn't know nothing until the new Source magazine came out. And by the time we seen that stuff was old.
Yeah.
When we be reading it, they'd be like, and you remember the interview, they'd be like, Tupac walks in the room. He has his shirt on, untucked, and puts his cigar out and sits in the chair and removes his glasses. Like, they used to tell you all that detail because that's all we had. And in between albums, we didn't know what was going on with people. When him and Biggie had beef, by the time we found out, it probably was old. Now we know what time they go to the restroom, what time, what they ate today. What you could look at a celebrity and be like, oh, he had that on yesterday, because we already know what he had on yesterday. Like when Soulja Boy were going everywhere wearing them same clothes, I was aware. Because I was like, I seen him.
Wait, what? Wait a minute.
He slid that in there, though. He slid that in there.
That right there was an OG podcast move, how he did that right there. The same clothes like Soulja Boy, he just kept going like y'all take notes to what he's telling us. I pay attention to what he's doing now.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but now, because if you look, we got, also, she ain't doing what she was, but Cardi B, the reason people like her is because they want to see what she's doing. She on probably season 3 of Cardi B right now. So if you notice, most of the artists that ain't really online like that, minus like people like Eminem and Jay, because they gonna just do numbers anyway. But a lot of the people that you don't really hear from, they don't do them very well. But the people that's online screaming at everybody, talking about I'm finna kick somebody's ass, I want all the smoke. These the artists that's doing numbers. Because we want to be like, man, now we in this. I want to know what they have for dinner. I want to know who they dating. I want to know who got a nudie, put them nude screenshots out and all that stuff.
That's how I be.
And people how you think we get Boot Gang out here was running around stealing donuts? Because people trying to do more shenanigans than music. And in the end,
but
you make more money from the shenanigans. Go ahead.
That's true. But nah, son, he straightened up. Bone Games, he straightened up, and he has a song, and I don't know what it's called, but I ain't gonna lie, I kind of like it.
Yeah, he probably learned a lesson from them.
Hell yeah, and he said that in the song.
Yeah, you see,
like straighten up.
Because
man,
Tekashi got moved to a different location already.
Yeah, we heard. I heard that one because he gave away his location.
He did what?
He was out. He gave away his location. He was out. He was out on the balcony and stuff and gave away his location.
So he might tone it down. I don't know. Because I'm sure that he got some terms that you can't be doing this, and that. And from what I understood, he was on house arrest so bad he couldn't go outside. They said he got cars he can't drive. He can only be in the house. He was trying to get permission to video in the house. The video I think he did in his house. They just probably set a room up. But that's how bad it is. And now he's stepping out on the porch doing that, showing you can't miss him. He a rainbow dude walking around. He looked like a bag of Skittles walking around through here. So you gonna see him. So wherever they put him now, he probably finna be in an underground tunnel. He gonna be down there with Master Splinter, the real Red.
They probably gonna put him. They probably gonna put him not in the neighborhood this time. He gonna be like out there with a lot of land somewhere, you know, where a person like he can be probably out back and nobody be like, oh, there he go right there.
Yeah, he need to be in where the cows at. Put him on a farm or something.
He gotta be on the farm. He gotta be out there. Yeah.
Hey, where they got the plow, where they got all construction equipment, everything.
But I gotta get back. I gotta ask another question, though.
Talk to me.
You got the vodka, right? 500, right?
Indeed.
500.
So, can you elaborate more on that right there? Like, are you a brand ambassador, or do you like own some of this?
No, actually, we are sponsored by 500 Vodka. So, interesting story. 500 Vodka was a guest that my girl had found on Instagram. We found out that was here in San Antonio. So we had them on the show. It was like, you know, it's a black business. It's a black-owned vodka. And they came on the show, and that was that at first. But, you know, just like anytime you have guests over, you kind of be talking small talk before and after the show. After the show, we was just sitting around talking and stuff. And I'll be honest, you know, I was like, oh, this is a local company. It's probably ain't going to be so good or whatever. One thing let me know, it was in that Ciroc price bracket. They go for $27.99 for the big bottle. So I'm like, okay, you in that Ciroc price bracket. Then I tasted it, and it was actually good. And I was like, okay, so if we have a business relationship, I ain't got to be out here just trying to force myself to say I like this when I actually like it. So that made it a beautiful marriage for us. But they ended up, so what happens is they sponsor us. We get a case a month, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, so it ain't currency. It's just in that way. But we get to do what we want to do with it. If we want to drink it, sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes I do contests and stuff where I'll be like, I'm going to pull up with a bottle, first person to say what I said on the episode or comment on this post or something like that. And I'll be like, if you're in the area, I'll pull up and give a bottle away. Sometimes I don't even drink them, and I have more, and I'll be like, cool, I got 2 cases of it. So.
How many come in a case? 6?
I think like 6, yeah. Indeed.
That's not bad. See, look at that. Look at his girl hooked him up like that.
You see what I'm saying? And let me. And see, that's how we get them topics too. You know, we be having some magical beverages before we start doing our episodes. If you do some magical beverages before you crank the show up, you'll be in the mood.
So by you being sponsored by 500 Vodka, I know they have to do like certain events around the city. Do you get like VIP treatment for those types of events? Cause you
yeah. If they're there, they'll shoot me an invite and say, hey, we're gonna be here. Also, I've done the same too. Like if I'm gonna be in that event, I let them know like, hey, I'm gonna be doing this event. I could talk to them and see, can y'all, you know, come through and bring some bottles and stuff. Maybe y'all could do a little taste test and stuff like that. Because one thing, and I guess this is a gem that I want to drop for everybody that's listening. If you finally get sponsorship, I think you got to continue to show them. It's just like a relationship. You got to continue to show them what you can do for them. Because at any given time, you know, just say, hey, I don't see the benefit in this. So I got a advertisement I run on every episode where I drop a commercial. And then, you know, we speak highly of them anywhere we go. And then if we have other opportunities, I'm like, hey, this is a thing. Y'all might want to be there. This is what day it is. This is who you need to talk to. Even if people text me like, man, I bought a bottle, I screenshot it, send it to them. I'm like, you see, don't think we just talking. Sales coming in.
Are they nationwide or local?
They San Antonio and Austin right now. They're trying to get nationwide, but they San Antonio and Austin right now.
Well, that's a big move to be in with them early.
Yeah. Jump right on the train.
I do got a question. We're gonna see some Velvet Vodka anytime soon.
You know what? It's funny because I used to drink this whiskey called Black Velvet, but I had to get out of that whiskey game once I got in this vodka game. I said, hold on, I gotta respect what I'm doing here. But I actually thought about that, but it kind of brought me back to the conversation we said earlier about stealing people's sauce, because I never thought about that until I met them. And I was like, I never thought about like just saying, cool, I'm gonna just start my own alcohol. And after I met them, it crossed my mind a few times. Then I slapped my hand like a bad kid at church, and I said, no, you just let them. That ain't your lane. Sit your ass down.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that part is hard because there's so many beverages out there.
Yeah.
It's just like, 50 Cent had one, Diddy had one, Jay-Z had one. I think like it's enough. It's plenty of people out there for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think you cannot be mad if yours tastes better.
I'm gonna tell you this. This is what I have thought about. I have thought about like maybe once I earn some more gray hairs on my beard and some more gray hairs on my head, and that may just be 3 or 4 years down the line. but but when that time comes, and I'm like, all right, I done hung up my microphone for the final time, and I want to find out what my next venture is. I ain't hung the idea up completely, but I ain't gonna be a complete piece of crap here. And the moment that I get a sponsor, 2 weeks later, I'm like, I'm gonna start my own liquor too.
Yeah, I mean, but there's so much more that you can start other than liquor, though.
Yeah. Look, you got me inspired too. Even with your, you got the janitorial service going on.
Yeah, man.
So that's a profitable business.
Yeah, it is. It's.
You're not fooling me with this great T-shirt. It's probably Balenciaga.
No, I learned that. I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't really do like I used to with all the name brand clothes and stuff like that, like buying all the Jordan. Because I'm like, I'd rather have stock and own some stuff now.
Get you some AN1s.
Yeah, well, shoot you some Shaqs.
Some Shaqs.
I don't know. The thing is that, like, everybody, I think, like, everybody these days, they want to look rich when they don't have no money. But, like, where I was from, you didn't want to look like you had money. You want to look like you broke. That way, it saved a lot of stuff.
But, now Wish.com got it where you can look rich anyway. You go in there, order you some fake Versace.
You order you some fake stacks of money.
Yeah,
man,
you seen that?
Man, I heard somebody say they bought an Xbox, and when he got it, it was the picture of an Xbox in the Xbox box.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I gotta say, I don't know nobody who ordered nothing from Wish.
I don't know.
I slipped up maybe twice, but I mean,
because I done did it too.
I was on the budget.
Something?
I was on the budget. Yeah.
From Wish?
Yeah.
I bought
y'all the first people I knew who bought something.
Hey, I'll say this. It was a late but early gift. And when I got it, I wish I would have never ordered it, but then it happened again, and
yeah.
So what you get, Viv?
I'm gonna be honest, since we are 3 older men being honest.
Oh boy.
I bought a fake diamond chain on there.
I thought you were about to say a grill. You ain't buy a grill, huh, that?
No, I ain't buy no grill. But I bought a chain on there, and it looked like what the rappers would be wearing, like the Cuban.
Was it Cuban link?
Yeah, it looked like the Cuban links. But the funny thing about it, I knew where I got it from. And see, this is me just being honest, I'm from the bottom. But it was so funny because when I got it, I put it on. And I remember when I would go places, people would be like, God dang, boy, you blind and you killing them out here. I was like, if only they knew. And I was like, I hope don't nobody check my credentials.
Wait, was it gold or was it silver? What was it? Red?
It was silver with some air quotes diamonds in it. But I refuse to get a fake gold chain because I know the gold gonna fade. Silver normally stays silver because it probably don't be real. It'd be like metal or something probably. Gold, that gold gonna start turning rose gold, then it's gonna turn brass, and then people gonna have to sit you down for a long conversation.
I mean, but then But what you did, you was faking until you made it, because a lot of rappers out here still doing it,
Oh yes.
Because if you got that much money to buy that much jewelry, I don't know why you rapping. Like, you should just stay what you was doing.
Yeah, they must have doing it right then.
Yeah, so. All right.
Yes, indeed, man.
I got another question for you, Doug.
Talk to me.
For anyone who wants to jump into the podcast game, what advice would you give them?
Man, do your research. Do your research. I know that's a simple, bland answer, but I'm gonna tell you why. Because, and y'all probably can attest to this, it seemed like when you get in this game, it just sounds like a bunch of cool people sitting in a room with a microphone. But once you realize what it come with, all the editing, all the how much marketing you need to do, posting and stuff, especially if you don't like being on social media like that. Going in groups, being in Twitter, and just doing all this other stuff, it's a lot more to it than, like, even I told my team, we record, and I'm like, we record, and then y'all go home, and it's, y'all like, boy, that was great. I'm up at 3 a.m. editing this mess and punching the laptop and stuff, and trying to make myself don't punch the laptop. Or look, I don't know if y'all been here before. You post episode come out tomorrow at such and such time, and then you had trouble doing it, or it had some technical difficulties. Now you got to remove the post because they're gonna be like, you said it come out at noon. I done been there before. I'm like, oh man, I done said it's gonna come out at this time, and now it ain't.
Sure, you've been there. We lost whole episodes.
Oh yeah, trust me, I got some lost files. I even got some episodes that I lost on purpose because it was just we got some I'm gonna have to release Velvet Vibez director's cut eventually. It was just some episodes that I'm like, yeah, we can't put this out. This is offend the whole planet.
I gotta say, the one classic episode, in my opinion, is the one when you were talking to one of your partners, not Linopoly, and I don't think it was not Scorp. It was who was the fourth person on your
Wild Child.
Wild Child. And he asked Wild Child this question, and then I had to hit Velvet up because he cut it off just like the TV show when he gets in a good moment. I said, hey, I thought my stuff messed up because I'm like, hey, I had to hit him up like, what happened? And he was like, oh, you gotta wait till next week to find out. Yeah.
Do you remember what that question was?
It was something about you have to save your girl. You asked Wild Child this question.
I remember the question.
And you called him, and the question was so crazy that that's when I had to hit you up after I listened to it. But I can't remember exactly what that question was.
I'll tell you what it was. I asked him if somebody gave him $1 million to let them sleep with his wife, would he do it? Now, at that point, he said yeah. But then I flipped the question on him, and I said, if they say they're going to give you $1 million, and the man said he going to, do it to you, what you going to do? Then that's why I cut the episode off. And that's why you was like, oh, snap, is he going to allow this?
Yeah. Oh, because he said, well, what threw me off is he said, well, how bad do we need money?
Well, bills got to get paid, baby.
Yeah, that part took the cake. I don't even know what episode that was. I think that was up in the 90s. It had to be like up in the 90s, one of the 90s.
It was 90-something.
Yeah, and that right there that took the cake for me. Like, I was laughing so long off of when he said, how bad do we need the money?
Yeah, that guy, he has a strange approach to answering the question sometimes.
So wait, who's all officially on the show? You, Linopoly, and Scorp, or the Wild Child still? I thought,
Actually, Wild Child, we in the works of getting him back on the show. Because the thing about it, we had him on the show like right before COVID-19 popped up. And we was having conversation like, man, you just need to come on back home. It was like when they tried to get him, sign him back to Death Row Records, but but we ain't hanging people over bathrooms over here. And we're having that conversation. Then this popped off, and so I'm kind of like trying to keep people not from coming over here. And he one of them that's experiencing what I'm telling you about, not tech savvy. When I call him about this kind of stuff, he'd be like, okay, so you said to open the window on the laptop. So I opened the window on my house. And I'm like, no, you don't open the window on your house. You got to open the window. So he's like, I didn't. Look, I say, you got to close the windows. He like, I close all the windows. And it was like, it's getting real hot in here. I'm like, hold on. You're not talking about on the computer.
Okay, I get where you come from. Now I see your struggle.
I just go find me some interviews to keep me busy.
Oh, JR, you got another question for Velvet?
You took last. You know what? What other besides podcasting? Like, what's your other thing? What else you got going besides podcasting?
As you know, but the listeners probably don't know, I do a whole lot of production, man, and it's kind of giving me a little problem because now that I start back making beats, I've kind of been enjoying it more than podcasting, and sometimes I'll be doing it so much that I'll be like, ooh, I ain't got no episode ready, or people be like, hey, when the episode? I'll be up at 3 a.m. making beats and stuff. I'm like, oh, just a second. So I ain't finna quit no time soon on the podcast game, but I ain't gonna lie, I love making beats. And if you could see what I already got here for when this episode ends.
We got the elite thing.
What you on?
I'll be on.
What you on right now?
Right now it's just sitting on YouTube, but I'm finna jump on. I've been on this horror game called The Evil Within. I ain't gonna play it tonight because I don't play it at nighttime because it be. That game's scary, man. I don't play this stuff at night. I play it at breakfast time. That way,
that game don't got you sleeping with the lights on, dude.
Yeah. Well, I don't play it at night because, like, I played it at night one time, and I had a squirt of pee on myself. I looked down and I said, "Whoa!" I thought I was an adult. And I said, well, it's quarantine. Ain't nobody gonna know. Everybody had a squirt of pee before.
That slipped out.
Look,
scared the piss out.
That's why I gotta be ready for stuff like that.
That's why you got the towel.
So I'm trying to find a good TD Jakes game to play or something, a game of holiness to play at nighttime. I'll play a fighting game at night or something like that, but scary games, I play them in the morning. Make me up some grits, some bacon.
So, okay. What's the scariest game you played? Resident Evil?
No. It's gotta be this Evil Within.
Is it that scary?
Is that scary? I just told you a squirt of pee came out. Like,
I mean,
since we keeping it real, I didn't used to play Resident Evil at night.
It didn't bother
me. You play those scary those scary games at night either.
Let me ask y'all a question. When y'all watch a horror movie at night, because I gotta make sure it ain't me, do you follow it up by cartoons so you could go to sleep? Because that's what I do.
No, because I be like, well, it's just a movie.
You try to psych yourself out.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it got me like, I ain't gonna lie, a couple times I did run up the stairs when I cut the lights off and stuff,
And you going?
You hear something, you be like,
you think somebody coming up behind you or something and stuff,
Yeah.
Look, you gotta
ever hear something and what is that?
You gotta play Kirk Franklin. Be encouraged, no matter what's going on.
I just turn on some Baby Shark or something.
That's funny, man. That's Baby Shark. Look. Put something funny on. Be like, let's break the mood down. Let's laugh.
Look, I don't mind being scared, but I'm gonna throw King of the Hill on or like Beavis and Butthead or something afterwards, and then it'll be the last thing I remember. Then I could go to bed. But as far as me just watching it and going straight to bed, oh hell no, we ain't doing it. It's gonna be a lot of pissy draws in around here.
I ain't never seen with an extra pair of the nightstand.
You see how?
Man.
I'd have made the room pink and everything.
So man, before we wrap it up, what do you have coming up?
Oh, what's coming up for me?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm about to drop a beat tape. I ain't got a release date yet because I'm just now about to submit it, and I know Spotify and all these streaming platforms, they give me I think it'd be like a month after I submit it before they drop it. But I'm about to drop a beat tape, and a lot of producers do stuff like this because even though it's not an album, it basically show people what kind of beats they can get. But you know, you can show different range, because if you just go in there and every beat sound like Future, then they say, okay, you done played 13 beats and every one of them sound the same. Then they let people know they ain't gonna fool with you. But if you go on there, I'm gonna do a couple of trap soul joints. I'm gonna do a few trap joints. I'm gonna do a few just hard times type of beat, rod wave type of vibe, and make you want to cry and wipe the tears out. The R&B that just lets you see that, okay, he can. I might want to fool with him, and then you know, I might look at my account and I see that people making some magical deposits because they want them beats. Oh. Just like with this podcast, and you got to play the free game at first. That's why I just be sending beats out. I be like, hey, get on these beats.
I didn't even know that producers had like CDs though. I mean, albums out of just beats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's. So I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't even hip to this.
So can somebody buy the beat once you put it out, or how does that work?
Once you put the beats out, if somebody want to buy it, it's really kind of difficult because it's kind of just giving them out. You just throwing them out there. Now, if somebody use it, I'm gonna get paid for it. But if somebody wants to buy the beat, it's free. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you sell a beat that's already out, what a lot of artists expect you to do, if they buy it exclusive, is remove it. So if I make a beat out, and I don't know if you know this, but they have where you can exclusively buy a beat and lease a beat. Just like you lease a car, you can lease a beat. And when people lease a beat, you know, they might say, okay, it's $25 to lease the beat. That means they're going to pay me $25 and they're going to get the beat. But if another artist hit me up and say, I want to lease it too, I'm going to give it to him too. And it's going to be 2 or 3 motherfuckers walk around here on the same beat. Now, if somebody reach out to me and say, I want to buy this beat and I want it exclusive, I have to remove it from everywhere it's at. So if I got it on YouTube and he done paid me $200 for the beat, I need to pull it off YouTube. I need to pull it off Spotify or whatever I got it. That way it's going to be exclusive to this artist. So when he put a song out on it, he ain't getting flagged. Oh, it's a copyright thing. You done stole this or nothing. And also, so he can be the only one on it. Because if it's just floating around, everybody going to be like, well, shoot, I'm going to jump on the beat too. You know. So.
How much can the producer make off a beat?
In the beginning, to be honest, like the problem is just like a lot of artists, some rappers and some producers get beside themselves. Just like I said, a lot of times I'm giving free beats out because I need to get my name hot. But when you first start selling them, it's ideal to probably lease for about 25, maybe do exclusive for about 75 or something like that. Don't go too crazy because people gonna be like, well, shoot, I can go over here and get them for less or whatever, and I don't even know you like that. Now, once you get your name bubbling, it's people out there selling beats for like 10,000 and stuff like that. When you but in that middle range, you know, it's people that do beats for like 500 and stuff. That's in that middle range. I'm kind of known, but I ain't many fresh. You know, people like that, and just like artists, I see artists be talking about I do a feature for 500, and I just heard of them yesterday. I'm like, sir, tone it down. You should be throwing them free features so we can get your name out there. You trying to charge 500, and if you charging, don't start there. That can't be the starting price.
So, okay, well, you know, before we wrap it up, if you come up with this beat, right? You get to choose one artist to come on this beat. The artist is your choice. It can be a singer, it can be whatever, like a rapper, whatever. Who is this one person who you gonna put on this velvet beat to take it over the top?
If we talking about taking it over the top, then I'm probably gonna throw Drake on it because we know what it's gonna do.
Yeah, okay.
But just who I would like to hear on my beats, Hood Rich Pablo Wine. I don't know if you heard of this guy.
I heard that he's in Atlanta, ain't
he? Yeah. If you ever feeling real ignorant, and that's who you want to listen to. And here lately, I've been feeling real ignorant. So when I'm not feeling ignorant, I might throw on a little more classy stuff, a little, like you said, some AZ, some Cameron, some vibes like that, some Nas and stuff like that. But every once in a while, I get in this ratchet bag where I walk around with my holy drawers and throw gang signs. I need to throw Hood Rich Pablo One up.
Well, I know you've been sending JR some beats.
Indeed, I'm gonna kill him.
Yo, when I get on these, I ain't gonna lie to you, son. I've been trying to set everything up, line everything up, man, in the right way so I can get on them things and rip it.
There you go. I'm gonna make a confession to y'all because I don't want this to end the wrong way. But my phone, it just popped up that it's near passing away, and I don't want it to pass away without us giving our correct goodbyes on the episode.
Sure.
All right, well, we gonna wrap it up, JR. You know, I just want to say thank you to Velvet Vibez for coming on the show. You know, awesome show, long time overdue. I appreciate you coming through. You know,
as always.
Do you want to say your how people can find you, your social media, everything, right quick?
If you're looking for me, Velvet Vibez Podcast, all one word, and that's Vibes with a Z. If you want to hit me up, you want to cuss me out, you want to tell me that I pissed you off or inspired you, 100% velvet at gmail.com. If you want to tell me in voice that I pissed you off, 210-580-4326. Leave us a voicemail, cuss us out, and we'll appreciate it and embrace it.
What about your production?
Oh, matter of fact, you hit me at the same place. But we talk some lovely stuff. If you look up Velvet Juggernaut, because that's my producer name. If you go Velvet Juggernaut on YouTube, you will find all my beats that I got up. And if you want something crafted up special, you don't want them beats that everybody else jumping on, reach out to me and say, I'm looking for something a little such and such. I'll say, give me a minute. I'll pour myself a glass of 500 vodka, and you'll be throwing gang signs in your household in no time.
There you go.
One more shout out to Velvet Vibez for coming through, my guy. One of my top guys in the podcast world. But as usual, I want to say the words of the motivational quote. The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. Whew. I had to throw that one in there.
I should have my shouting shoes.
Man.
Stay tuned. We're going to be starting a Patreon. We still trying to figure out what we want to, how we're going to do it and stuff. But JR, you want to take your shout out?
Well, as always, Vibe know how it goes. When we have our guests on, you got to throw out that outro. So, hey, once again, man, we appreciate you, man, showing the love, giving us the wisdom. For the people who hate you, for the people who love you, holla, you heard me. But you know the outro.
So you might well go and take us on out, Jay.
Well, I might as well take y'all out, you heard me. Cal and Jay, a day. Come!